Welcome back to another episode of All Talk Fantasy. Today we're going over players that we should be avoiding in your fantasy drafts, whether it's a mix of these guys are way too high, like round 2, round 3 talent, or these guys are in bad situations, injury prone. You want to go into your drafts getting the best guys possible and then figure out throughout the season who you're going to try to, finish your roster with. So my first guy up is Brock Bowers. Now, Brock Bowers, obviously an elite player last season, the number one fantasy tight end besides George Kittle, and he's extremely young. And people are probably going to be like, why would you not draft Brock Bowers? Now, for me, it's a second round price tag. I don't feel like grabbing a tight end this early is really going to benefit your team when there's other guys down the line. Like you should be targeting David Njoku, Tucker Kraft. Those guys you could really grab in rounds 8 through 10, maybe even like round 11, 12 for Tucker Kraft. So the second round price tag just doesn't make sense to me when, even if you wait a little bit longer, just a little bit. Yeah. On Trey McBride in round 3, I don't think there's a huge difference between Trey McBride and Brock Bowers. George Kittle, round 3, round 4, not much of a difference. Sam Laporta, round 5, and you're probably thinking, okay, whatever, maybe I'll just get Bowers. It's just 1 round difference. That there's an elite receiver in round 2 that there's not in round 3. Yeah. So I think the positional value really in tight ends does not really matter that much in fantasy compared to the wide receiver running back values.
I agree with you. I think definitely in that round 2 spot, if you don't have a receiver or want more receivers, that's the round to go get one of those 2 or 3 guys. Even like Prime Kelsey was going at the end of the second, beginning of the third. I mean, Bowers had a great year. He's a stud, but that offense is not capable of producing it, in my opinion. Could he have I think last year was a fluke year. Could he have another year where he goes off? Definitely. Is it worth your second round pick? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, last year he had 112 receptions for almost 1,200 yards. An absolute insane year, especially for any tight end, but a rookie tight end. And they do have some additions this season. Adding Ashton Genty to an offense probably takes some looks. Obviously, they play 2 different positions, but take some looks away from Brock Bowers. And they also drafted Jack Beck, who I think will be somewhat of a fantasy sleeper. So I'd love to hear your first guy off the list.
All right. Well, here's a guy that I know Cam hates and I've never been a fan of. I'm going Breece Hall. Now, why am I going Breece Hall? You see, fantasy still has him as a number 1 option type of guy. And I just think from what we've seen last year to this year, it's not going to work out. First of all, let's just talk about injuries. That ACL tear he had, did not look like he recovered at all yet last year. His explosiveness went down. His yards in the open field went down. Crazy. Let's just talk about the Jets as a whole, too. That team has just never, ever been able to move the ball consistently. While he had that fluke year where he went off. Since that, I haven't seen much.
I'll put my 2 cents is you say he went off in 1 year. He's never been 1,000 yard.
He's never been 1,000-yard rusher.
So
it was mostly catches. He was great behind the line with that.
For me, he was drafted, I want to say last season as an RB1, like first round top 5 pick, because he had Aaron Rodgers. He was pretty much set up for success. Early on, dealt with injuries, and I know you're gonna probably bring up the other backs in the backfield.
Yep.
But that's what scares me is now, last year, we didn't know how he was going to act with Braylon Allen. I know Isaiah Davis is there too, but Braylon Allen is the real guy that you should be worried about. And now we know how that's going to be. Breece Hall doesn't get the goal line carries. Braylon Allen is 6'4", 250 pounds. Breece Hall is not going to get those carries.
Sad thing is, towards the end of the year, I know you said Isaiah Davis is not a threat. He actually lost a couple touches towards the end of the year in the goal line to Isaiah Davis, where he should be eating.
I think that might be just because the Jets weren't in playoff contentions. But yeah, he's never been a 1,000-yard receiver. His yards per carry has been degressed every single year since he's been in the league. And his fantasy points per opportunity is 0.8, ranked 28th out of all running backs in the league. So every time he has an opportunity to get fantasy points, his average is 0.8. I mean, he's not scoring a lot of touchdowns. He's not going to be that main back. And it scares me a little bit more that now he has Justin Fields under center.
Oh, yeah.
Who we've seen Najee Harris have 1,000-yard or have almost 1,000 yards with Justin Fields. But you got to think Justin Fields is going to be taking away some of that rushing ability.
Yeah.
So add him as another back in that backfield. Then you have to deal with Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, quote unquote, and then Justin Fields.
Well, for those that say, Braylon Allen hasn't shown anything, and Isaiah Davis, who cares about Isaiah Davis? This is a quote from Aaron Glenn, new head coach, saying that he's going to use all 3 backs. and they're going to get a nice snap share. Last year, he had 61% snap share. So, I mean, it's just bound to go down.
Right. You probably right. Yeah. Like, I guess you're now lucky if he's at that 50% mark.
So, I mean, if you can get him later on, perfect. I mean, I take the shot at him in the 5th, 6th round.
I don't
He
think
won't be there. He won't be there, though, because he's getting drafted as a one and a one option.
I think he's more of like an RB2 for teams. And even like him at my RB2, I mean, I know I won't be drafting him in the 3rd round. And let's talk about another 3rd round talent that has been previous 1st round. So kind of that same path that Breece Hall has taken is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill has a lot of name value. I think his name is kind of adding him to that 3rd round pick where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting Tyreek Hill in the 3rd round. In 2024, Tyreek Hill's numbers took an absolute hit. He was not a 1,000-yard receiver last season. And I think it's not that Tyreek Hill is a bad fantasy player. It's Tyreek Hill's situation. So the first year he went to Miami, insane numbers, broke fantasy football. Then the next year, defenses started to figure it out. The following year, they really figured it out, and Tua Tagovailoa's injuries is just like, it's attached to Tyreek Hill's name. So if Tua is hurt, and I hate using the word if in these scenarios, but it seems like every year Tua's dealing with a head injury,
well,
it is a
sad truth. He can't play with the same quarterback.
He can't.
Every year he's been playing with committees of quarterbacks.
Right. Like how many more Skylar Thompsons does he have to play with? How many more, like, I don't even know. Zach Wilson is now the backup in Miami. So what I have is really, I can't say anything negative about Tyreek Hill, because if he is with Tua for the whole year, a round 3 price tag is a steal.
Yeah.
But I do not think he will be with Tua for the whole year, and B, I do feel like defensive schemes against him, like, they know the long ball is what Tyreek Hill feeds off of. And I think it's super easy to game plan against him. And that's why Miami hasn't been good. And we're totally forgetting the highlighted point here about the relationship. Like, the last game of the season, he said, yeah, I'm out. And Tua has talked about that in the press, in the public, about, like, we're not completely, like, our relationship is not completely back. So I think Tyreek Hill in the 3rd round. Guys I would take over Tyreek Hill: T. Higgins, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison, and Cortland Sutton. So I would take all those guys. And some of those guys are 4th, 5th round guys over Tyreek Hill. I'm avoiding Tyreek Hill in all fantasy formats.
All right. A little bit of a maybe controversial pick here. I got Jaden Daniels. Now, you're thinking Jaden Daniels just had a great year. But again, those numbers are bound to go down. Like, sophomore slumps are real. Yeah. We all know that. We've seen it time in and time out.
I have CJ Stroud's numbers. His sophomore slump, it was real. He went from averaging 18.7 points per game his rookie year to 13.7 points. Now, this was another, I put CJ Stroud in here because he's a good example.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud was rookie year, probably getting drafted 10th, 11th, 12th round, just like Jaden Daniels last year. Now, this year, Jaden Daniels is being a 3rd round pick, and last year CJ Stroud was like a 4th, 5th round pick, and I guarantee you if you drafted CJ Stroud in the 4th or 5th round last year, you did not win your fantasy league. So, yes, you're going to have to sell me on why not to take Jaden Daniels, and I want to hear your analysis, so go for it.
Well, first off, I just want to say, like, glaring red flags is the offense right now. What's happening with Terry McLaurin? And if Terry McLaurin does happen to leave halfway through the season, you're now stuck with Deebo Samuel or Zach Ertz being his number 1 receiving options.
And that's not, you can't go through a fantasy season.
And the rushing upside, I don't think it's going anywhere. He's not hurt. He's still healthy. But, I mean, are you really going to rely on that in that stacked division?
And how bad that offensive line is.
That offensive line, I think I have it up somewhere. He was sacked 47 times last year, 6th most in the NFL.
Now, they did add Laramie Tunsil. I'll have to put that in there. But I don't think adding Laramie Tunsil, granted, great offensive lineman, right? I don't think adding Laramie Tunsil is going to make that number go to 20. You know what I mean? Like, I still think he'll be in the 30s. I still think Jaden Daniels, and that's kind of the way he plays. Like, he rolls out of the pocket, he tries to extend the play, and maybe that's what's showing in that number. But a round 3 price tag, that's probably, in my thought process, why you put him here. Like, if he was in the 6th round, 100% I'd take him. But a round 3 guy like Jaden Daniels, I don't know.
See, I was in that type of group that was like high on CJ Stroud in the 4th or 5th round. So seeing Jaden Daniels going in the 3rd round is just crazy to me. Those numbers are just bound to go down. And I'm looking at you still got guys like Hurts, Burrow, even Justin Herbert that you can get later on. I mean, Hurts is going in the 4th, sometimes 5th round.
Yeah, Hurts is an absolute. I feel like Hurts is pretty much identical to what Jaden Daniels to do because of the tush-push ability to score touchdowns. And Joe Burrow, I think my probably top 5 would would be Allen Jackson in whatever order you want, then Burrow Hurts, whatever order you want, and then Jaden Daniels. So Jaden Daniels is being drafted as a third quarterback off the board. And I can see some leagues where he's in the second round because people are like, oh my gosh, I want Jaden Daniels. Look what he did last season. So if you are a complete believer, if you think Jaden Daniels can be even better than he was last season, go ahead and take him in the third round. But what we're saying is we don't think what he did last season can be replicated in round two. Defenses now have a whole year of film. His offense is going to be worse, and the sophomore slump is completely real.
My closing argument is here that I know in a lot of leagues you're going to see Allen go and you're going to see Lamar Jackson go. You're going to see that Jaden Daniels is there and they're going to have his ADP high, right? Don't take him. Take the receiver, take the running back. Like I said, like we've said, there's a big fall off in that second to third round from receiver, running back. Don't take the quarterback in the third round.
Yeah, and I think what you should be taking on Jaden Daniels, if you're going to fade him like we are, is his less on Dabble Fantasy. Now, Dabble Fantasy, you pick more or less on your favorite athletes. Doesn't matter the sport. And right now they have NFL futures. So pretty much what a future is, you take their like season-long play before the season starts. You got 2-3 more weeks to take advantage of NFL futures. I know we've had it on the screen a little bit before. So right now, Jaden Daniels' passing line is at 3,424 yards. I took the less than because Aiden sold me. So I'm going to take the less than there. And if you want a sweat-free play, you just go to All Talk Sports on Dabble Fantasy right now. You get a free $10, like completely free. Like you don't have to put in any money. You get a free $10. That's in the link in the description. And at the very end of this video, we'll have all these guys on one entry, taking the less because we think, well, some like Brock Bowers, I probably won't take the less then because I just think his price tag is what is going to shake me up there. But yeah, check out Dabble Fantasy today. They have every single sport. They don't just have the NFL. They have every single sport. Your favorite athletes. Check them out today. And I'm going to go into my last guy, and it hurts me to pick this guy. I actually think this guy is a great talent. I think one day when he gets a quarterback, he will be this top receiver that people drafted him as. It's Chris Olave. First round talent in the actual NFL. Last season being drafted as like a second, third round receiver. Only played 8 games.
I drafted him.
Only played 8 games, and his quarterback play is probably the worst in the league. Like, they are now giving Jake Haener opportunities in camp because of how bad Tyler Shugg or Shaug. I shouldn't even say his last name. That's how bad he is. And Spencer Rattler, like, come on. Like, and I know he's had bad quarterback. He's never had good quarterback play. He's never had it. And he's actually been good. Like last season, the games he played, he averaged 17 points per game, despite the concussions, which he had 2 concussions last year. Now, fantasy pros are going to be like, oh, the concussions, those are like, you get more. You don't just get over concussions like that. Now you have a bad offense, and I understand they have a bad offense, but they still have to throw the ball. I don't like Chris Olave. I'd rather take a flyer on a rookie like Emeka Buka, Matthew Golden's guy like that over Chris Olave. And it's just like, oh, he's one of the guys who's like, oh my gosh, he's there in the 6th, 7th, 8th round. Like, maybe I should take him. Your upside isn't there. Your upside isn't there for Chris Olave. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Well, what's funny to me is with those concussions, the whole reason he gets them, those are in transition plays. Those are hospital balls being thrown at him. I love Chris Olave. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I've always just thought, cool guy. I like his play. But unfortunately, he plays for the Saints, and I actually like the Saints. I'm a big Saints guy, but you don't want to watch Saints football. You're gonna draft this guy just to watch him not even play because somehow he got another hospital ball.
And my thing is like, say he gets hurt, right? And I hate saying guys are gonna get hurt. The Saints could not. They might not win a game this year. Like they're not gonna be like, oh, let me get this guy back for a playoff push. Like the Saints. Is it crazy to say they might not win a game? I don't know. They're easily like a top 3 worst team.
They also have a bottom O line.
Yeah, and
bottom tier.
I don't want to watch that. Like he could get 20 targets and catch 3 balls. Like
it's happened
even in PPR formats. And you're right. Like the reason he gets injured is because of the quarterback. I mean the quarterback play, give him hospital balls. I don't really know if I have to sell you anymore on Chris Olave. Let's just go to our last player. You know what? And wait, hold on. Before we go to our last player, subscribe for more, guys. We've been getting a lot of love on these videos. Comment if you agree, disagree. It doesn't really matter. We want to hear your thoughts down below. So comment down below. Like the video if you are liking the video. And hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Give me your last player. This is probably my favorite take of your side.
I just want to say, too, we're here to talk fantasy football. So if you got something to say in the comments, I will comment back. So
let's do it.
Let's get it going. I feel bad with this last one because I feel to me it's an easy one, right? This guy was awesome, but now he's old. Aaron Jones.
Let's hear it.
It's depressing that I have to just bring up the obvious. He's 30. He's on the Vikings, and Jordan Mason's now there, and they are going to share the ball.
100%. I think all the I don't know if you've seen it, but like all the training camp stuff that's came out between the head coaches and the running back coaches is pretty much it's going to be a 50-50 split. And the Vegas lines kind of show that. Like Dabble's fantasy's regular season projection for Aaron Jones is at 774 rushing yards when he's been a 1,100, 1,200 yard receiver. I mean, running back? What?
Well, here's the thing. They're lying to you. Want to know why? Because he got a lot of usage last year. Name me the other running backs on that team.
I want to say Cam Akers, and he was awful.
Ty, well, not Ty, Ty Chandler.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not much. Now you put Jordan Mason there. Is Cam Akers still there?
No, he's somewhere else, but he's just like he doesn't deserve to be in the NFL. But Jordan Mason cooked last year on the 49ers before he got hurt, so I can only imagine what he's going to do in Minnesota.
And Ty Chandler's still there. So I mean, they got a little bit of a committee going. At least I think he's still there. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, expect those numbers to go down now that Jordan Mason's there. And the thing that I always like to highlight, goal line touches. Jordan Mason is a hammer it down the middle type of guy. That's going to take opportunities away, and he's old. He can't play like he used to. We see it last year. He's getting so tired at the end of games that they're throwing these third, fourth string type of guys in there. I mean, I even CJ Ham. I saw CJ Ham get in a couple late games last year because he just couldn't keep going.
Yeah, 30 years old is kind of like the benchmark for running backs when they start to digress. And I just have some targets around Aaron Jones that I'd probably rather have over him is David Montgomery, Isaiah Pacheco, and Jalen Warren. I think all those guys have the better opportunity to score more fantasy points straight up. I don't think any of those guys could be your RB1. And I do think I like Aaron Jones. He's been very good the last few years. And the other thing that's kind of iffy to me is it's kind of a boom or bust pick because of the offense. Like, he gets a brand new quarterback. We don't really know how it's going to be under JJ McCarthy. Like, we truly don't know. Like, everybody's drafting Jay Jettas, Jordan Addison, and Aaron Jones as if it's just like another plug and play, like Kirk Cousins, kind of Sam Darnold kind of thing, where it's like, okay, this offense is going to be great. We don't know how JJ McCarthy is going to be in this offense. I would also stay away from Aaron Jones. I'd rather have Jordan Mason at his ADP than Aaron Jones.
It's just I don't even know who's going to be the one. Probably Aaron Jones to start, but I mean, we'll see.
I mean, this kind of reminds me of last year's Zach Moss, Chase Brown, where Zach Moss kind of was the veteran coming in, like, and he was expected to be like the guy, gets hurt. And I'm not saying Zach Moss was old, but it's kind of the same situation where you have a younger back who's probably better.
The only thing keeping him alive is the receiving upside because Jordan Mason will not be out there.
Absolutely. He can't catch balls.
So this is one of those things where I feel like I'm kicking a dead horse here, but I mean, if you draft him in the 9th round, 8th round, and he ends up being solid like last year, great. But what's probably going to happen is you're going to draft him and wonder, why is Jordan Mason starting in week 7? So, I mean, if you want to take the shot on him, this is a guy you can take a shot on, but do not be surprised when week 7, week 8 comes around. Why is he now second on the depth chart?
Those are our 6 guys who we're trying to avoid this year in fantasy football. We have another video coming out tomorrow where we draft from the 7th overall pick, and we have like 10 other videos on our channel for fantasy football podcast related stuff. So if you guys want to check those videos out, also comment down below if you agree or disagree with us. Like, we will be happy to talk fantasy football regardless of what it is. So subscribe for more NFL content, and we're out.